Well, let me introduce myself to you all. My name is Hridhaan. The spelling of this name starts with an H, which is quite interesting for us all to know actually. It's Hridhaan. Well, first and the foremost thing, I'd like to welcome each one of you with a very big heart because that is what is the meaning of my name. Welcoming you on this channel with a very big heart. Today we have a very interesting lesson because in this lesson we are going to be talking about something that adds a little bit of spice to the way you speak. Now, everybody speaks English, but what sets us aside from other people is the pronunciation that we use, the vocabulary that we use, and most interestingly also to the same list, the sentence structures that we use. How you can add some nice vocabulary, celebrity-like vocabulary that people use. Well, the PRs tell them how they use it, but here Hridhaan is going to tell you how you use it to speak better English at just the click of a video. So let's get started. Phrase that I have brought in for you guys here is Ladada. Ladada primarily means a person with pretentious taste. Do you have a friend in your life who's always preferring classic tastes? The person does not like anything normal. For example, if the person goes out for a dinner, the person would not want to have Indian cuisine, but the person would want to explore something that is quite different. And that too not naturally, just to show off maybe, and have that pretentious attitude. Another example, if the person goes out shopping for a perfume, let's say, the person would not want to buy, let's say, a normal perfume of a normal brand. The person would choose higher brands such as Chanel, etc. So a person of higher taste is called, pretentious higher taste, is called a Ladada personality. Use it in your daily life because it is going to add a lot of value. When you speak it, people are going to listen to you carefully. And they would want to also use it in their lives as well. Let's move on to the next one. The next phrase that we have is a cash cow. What is a cash cow? Another very, very interesting phrase. A cash cow is primarily a business. Let me write it for you. A business that gets you a lot of money. If you have a business, and not just a business, but also a job that gets you a lot of money, that business or a job is called a cash cow. For example, let's say Apple. Let's take the example of Apple, wherein iPhones are a big cash cow for the entire brand Apple because they are being sold the most. So Apple iPhones primarily, are a cash cow for the brand Apple. So do try using it in your daily life. Let's move on to the next one very quickly. We've got a paper tiger, very similar to a cash cow. A paper tiger. Do you have a person in your life who pretends and who shows that he's very dangerous and very big, etc., but in reality is not? That person is called a paper tiger. Basically, a person who shows that person is called a paper tiger. For example, Mr. Robin was shouting yesterday, but everybody in society knows that he's just a paper tiger and he cannot do any harm to anybody. That person is a paper tiger. I hope you have understood it and you try using it in your daily life. Let's quickly move on to the next one, the big cheese. Big cheese is primarily that person in your life that handles everything. For example, who is the big cheese in your family? Somebody who manages the family. Well, a lot of people might as well say that their fathers are the big cheese in the family. Well, could possibly be. In the organization that you work, who is the big cheese? Let's say the CEO would be the big cheese because that person handles everything. Or your manager could be the big cheese as well. So a big cheese is somebody who is atop everyone. It can be in your family, or it can also be, for that matter, in the organization that you work as well. So personal life and professional life, both. We've got big cheese as well. Do you have a girlfriend who is the big cheese in the relationship? Might as well. Let's move on to the next one. We have cut to the quick. Now, when I ask this to people, what is cut to the quick? People, and when I speak it in my natural speech, people think that cut to the quick primarily means coming to the point. But here is the trick. Cut to the quick actually means, let me just write it here. I hope you're able to read it. It primarily means hurting someone. So, for example, let's say if somebody has hurt you, for example, if siblings are fighting and somebody has hurt you, that person, that situation, in that particular situation, you can use cut to the quick. For example, I was cut to the quick when my sister slapped me. So when somebody hurts you, that's when you use cut to the quick. Let's quickly move to the last 5 ones. We've got born and bred. I think you have guessed the meaning right. Bread here does not mean the bread that we eat. Bread here means I was raised. So I'll just write the alternative that people use it in the situations. Born and raised. Or brought up as well is something that people use most of the times. I'll just write it here for you. Born and brought up. Next one, a red letter day. Let's quickly move on to this one. A red letter day is, when you see the red color, what do you understand? Well, something dangerous? Well, this is not related to something that is dangersome as such, per se. A red letter day primarily means an important day. For example, you could be going for an interview. That is a red letter day for you. Well, if I start making, let's say, 10 millions a month, that is a red letter day for me. The first day primarily, because later it becomes a habit. So the first day when you start doing something new, an important day, is called a red letter day. So I'll just quickly write it for you here. An important day. A fair weather friend. Who is a fair weather friend? Well, I think most of you must have guessed it right. A fair weather friend is a friend who is a good friend only in your good times. Friend, fair means good weather. So when your life has got a good weather, that person is your friend only then. So we can write it, a person being good friends only in your good times. How many of you have got a fair weather friend? Rule the roost. Are you somebody who leads everything in your group? Are you always the shining star in your group? Well, if you have a group of friends and in that group there is one person who always shines, one person who's always leading the things, that person is called as ruling the roost of the group. It's a person who leads. Coming to the last one and the most important one, and I think one of my most favorite ones as well, that I use in my daily life, and that is cardinal sin. Cardinal sin primarily means the biggest mistake of your life. Let me just write it for you here. The biggest mistake. So I'm not going to lie. Let me share with each one of you on this very open platform what is the biggest mistake of my life. I think when I first got the job, I did not tell my mom first, and she was really engraved about that fact. She was really furious. I told my grandmom first as to what exactly I had gotten, and she wanted her to be the first one who wanted to know what was it like. But the job that I'd gotten actually, and that was quite a prestigious title. I think that was the cardinal sin that I'd done. Not that I did not tell my mum, but I think I could have told both the ladies together, you know, the ladies and stuff. So yeah. So cardinal sin is the biggest mistake in your life. This brings us to the end of this video, and I want to tell you that I had a wonderful time with each one of you, and I really appreciate you guys sticking to the video, and I hope, most importantly, that you make use of all of these vocabulary in your life and talk like a celebrity.